And I think we're live. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 4. All right, it's been a while, but oh god, I'm hearing myself. Can I turn that off? Ah, there we go. Mute. Thank you. Where's my chat gone? There it is. All right. Chat's quite filled this time. We're growing bigger. Hello, Benoit P. I haven't seen you yet. So, yeah, welcome. Oh man, can't wait to watch some productivity. And a bunch of deleted messages. There's nothing better than watching someone else be productive instead of being it yourself. I mean, getting watched being productive is also good because it stops you from procrastinating so much. I mean, it's also distracting, but it at least stops you from, I don't know, watching YouTube videos. It's finally 6. I think this is stream 7. Not sure. Can I join the stream again? I don't know. Discord gets quite busy, but maybe later in the stream I can join a Discord channel and have a chat with you guys. Nightbot, again, silence some people. Is it minutes? Yes, it is minutes. Maybe I should do, I don't know, M behind the number. Waiting for new features. Yes, we're doing that. Need config file for InstantOS. We're actually going to be doing some configuration today, so I mean, not the keyboard stuff yet, but I'm working towards it and we're making progress. InstantOS is just awesome. Thank you. Hearing very works. What? Benny is using Speech Jammer, apparently. Why am I doing that? I mean, you can hear me, right? Hello there. This looks so cool. How to make this type of animation? Oh, I made a stream ticker. Totally forgot about that. That just does that periodically. Good to know it works. He uses Blender. Yes, it is made using Blender. If it wants to load eventually. Oh, there it is. I made a bunch of stuff using Blender. I mean, almost all of the motion graphics in InstantOS are made using Blender. Hope we get some tips on how to be productive. Getting that lifestyle YouTuber stuff. We hear you well. Good. Is it possible to resize the sys-tray icons? I find them quite big. The sys-tray icons take the space available to them, which means, yeah, they're basically, if you resize the bar, the icons will also get smaller. Maybe I do something else. Damn, the app menu looks good. You mean this one? As an experiment, I removed the rounded corners from it because the other parts of InstantOS don't have those anymore. Not sure if I'm gonna keep it that way. The official version is still rounded. All right, let's get into what's planned for today. This is my very professional stream ticker. Add padding. Problem with padding is that you can easily click besides the icons. Like there's a bunch of empty space that doesn't do anything if you click it. Maybe just around the bottom 2 corners. That's also an interesting idea, but then I'd have to make it, not sure about that one. Please customize the dock workspace switch to look more attractive. You mean this one? More attractive is very subjective, but do you have any concrete ideas about changing it? I mean, it's a bunch of numbers. Right? Professional Steam. Yes. English. So you're talking about the workspace switcher. I mean, what do you want to do with it? It's fairly simple, I think. Like the dock of Ubuntu. Ubuntu doesn't have a workspace switcher. Ubuntu has the thing at the right with the previews, which is not gonna happen for InstantOS, I'm sorry. Your Patreon notification is overflowing. Yes, I noticed. I also might make them a bit less frequent. I think they might get distracting. App switcher. Are you talking about workspace or app switcher? What I do have is, which is actually new, or I had previously but it didn't work very well, is the new Alt-Tab menu, which is this app switcher. You can toggle icons for the tags using Super Alt S. Yes. I mean, we have this one, and it's probably also gonna get customizable, so you can put icons in there instead of multiple unused workspaces. That's also a feature. You can hide workspaces that are not used. It's just hindering discoverability for new users, but you can make it so that workspaces that are empty are not showing on the bar. I mean, at the moment, I'm not having trouble reading anything because there's enough space for it. But I had a custom app launcher configured in InstantOS, but that always opens in full screen. Is there a way to force some specific apps to open in floating always? What app launcher did you use? I know of Panther. Whoops. Which at the moment looks like this. I mean, why do you not want to have that full screen? But I guess. Yeah, look more attractive is a bit vague. I think one of the things he could have meant is the Alt-Tab menu, in which case there is one with pretty icons and stuff, or the GNOME switcher, which just is an overview of all the applications you have open, which is also present in InstantOS. It's not gonna get the crazy resizing. It's just gonna be the card stack, but it's already present. I don't know if you knew about that feature. But let's look at what we have for today. XFCE App Finder. I think I can make such a feature that you can on runtime configure stuff to be floating or have a certain position. I mean, it would make sense to have that up here. What's the Arch package for that? Since I can also add that to the default. I made a few new default application options. I want to say, like Windows has a taskbar with icons, InstantOS must have its own unique taskbar. The icons require GTK or some kind of complicated stuff. So no, icons are not going to come to the bar. Besides, it's too small for them to be really recognizable. So no, they're not going to be icons on the bar. We already have them here, but they're not going to be on the bar. Probably not. All right, I made a new utility, which I already showed off on the Discord. There we go, the Patreon notification again is overflowing. I have to fix that sometime. Instant WM control tag, and then a number switches to a certain tag, which might not seem like a big deal, but essentially this allows you to have a CLI, to have instant Window Manager runtime configurable, runtime. You can trigger actions on runtime using scripting that do not have a key binding, and all sorts of stuff can be made available through this command line utility. At the moment there's only tags and overlays, but I want to introduce layout, like setting the layout to a specific layout without using just xdoto and going through all the layouts, but instead setting into a specific layout. So that's what I want to do today first. So let's jump into Window Manager. Whoops. What IDE or text editor do you use? It's NeoVim. Wait a sec, I'll make my screen a bit brighter. Most importantly, you can run startup applications and arrange them the way you want. Yeah, you can do that. The problem with that is the window manager doesn't have any idea where a window comes from. Like if you have a save as dialog from, let's say, GIMP, how's the window manager supposed to know how to open that window? That you need to open GIMP, do something in it, and then click close. So that pops up. So it's only really good for really basic things. What you can also do is start the application and then say to the window manager, place the next window that opens up there. But if the application crashes or doesn't open or isn't installed, and the window manager still has the instruction, there's a fly in my room. It's been annoying me for a while. I swear if it stays, crimes will be committed. The problem with that is then that the window manager just takes a window that matches a name or whatever, but that's not really, it's not really reliable. The window manager needs to know where to open the window. So it'll always be kind of unreliable, but that's also possible. Is there any way to customize the keyboard, the key bindings? I think I need to drink something. Wait a sec. Okay, I'm back. What will be the next beta release? What will be in the next beta release? It's already on the to-do list. The to-do list is instantos.io/todo. And there you can see everything that's planned so far. This is for the stream today, so better start soon. Yes, very useful. Maybe also for demoing stuff automatically. That's also a use for it. Can you use it to start applications on a specified workspace? Yeah, probably. I mean, at the moment there's not really stuff that uses it, but the thing is, we now have communication between a command line tool and the window manager. So we can do all sorts of features inside the window manager that can get triggered from outside using a command line tool. What I meant is have Telegram and Discord start when instant window managers start, and then send them to monitor in tiling or something. And Firefox and Monocle on monitor 1. Scripting stuff like that would be useful. I mean, yeah, it's probably possible, but like the problem is if Telegram doesn't open up for some reason, then it mistakes Firefox for Telegram or whatever. But we'll see about that when we get there. All right. What we have is this new array, commands. It's basically like a keybind array, but instead it accepts commands from this tool. Have you added a drop-down workspace scratchpad yet? Yes, I have. The chat is using it right now. This is called overlay, and you can make any window an overlay. Like for example, now NeoVim is my overlay, and now it's a drop-down menu. I can make the chat a drop-down menu again, and you can also put it on the side, which is a very good use for it, for just having a chat there. And a scratchpad also exists, where you can put multiple windows on, like now I have these two on the scratchpad. All that exists. Fancy. I feel like that startup for no reason or timing issues can be the user's responsibility. Yeah, I mean, like, there's material shell for Gnome, but I haven't heard of any session manager that really works because there's no way for it to really work. It can't possibly account for everything applications do. Write your scripts accordingly, use appropriate amounts of sleep, and check for processes. If the user writes the scripts, it's definitely possible. But someone was asking for a session manager that would just save the session you currently have and then restore it next time you boot up, which is not really possible because how's the window manager supposed to know how to get a window in a certain state? So that's the primary problem, but if people script it themselves, it's possible, definitely. So let's do layout and then set layout. Ah, geez. Oh, yeah, of course. Then we can do arg. Let's search for something that has a custom arg. There we go. Wait, what? All right. Oh yeah. So I think we're gonna have to do a custom layout function. Void command There's a way to do that. DWM already has the ability to have windows defined in certain places, and there's an IPC patch you can use alongside it. I mean, the IPC patch at this point is probably like a fork. I mean, it's by far the longest patch out there, and probably breaks all other patches. But it basically makes it so you can use alternative bars. That's a huge patch. But yeah, the problem with it really though is that you have to do it at compilation. It's not runtime configuration, which Instant WM is supposed to have. I mean, a lot of people are using Instant OS, or I've seen people who don't even know what a window manager is. And if you told them they need to learn Vim and C and start messing with source code, they just tell you straight up, I don't know, are you crazy? So Instant OS has got to keep that audience, or has got to keep compatible with people like that who just want to do their email without GNOME draining their battery and getting used to 5 FPS animations with JavaScript frameworks. I'm just asking, can Instant OS likely be based on Debian in the future? I'm new to Arch. Probably not. I talked about this already in the YouTube comments sometime, but base distro, I mean, the biggest reason for Arch as a base is how simple it is and the AUR. It simply has the most applications available, and for most people the OS is a way to get to those applications, and if they're not present or have to be manually compiled, or you have to symlink libraries to hack together things, then yeah, I mean, basically, for example, DaVinci Resolve or the entire proprietary creative programs, they all run fine from the AUR, and it took Ubuntu years to get DaVinci Resolve to work with a simple script, and it still doesn't work as well as on Arch. Void command layout. So what we're gonna do is, will there be a way to access Google Drive with a Nautilus? I mean, there isn't a native Google Drive client as far as I know. There's rclone, which definitely works, so check out rclone. rclone is a great tool. It can basically allow you to mount any kind of cloud storage as if it were a local drive. You can push to it, you can sync with it. It's basically a cloud client that supports all of these different cloud thing. I mean, yeah, definitely check out rclone. It supports a lot of cloud providers and it's just a great tool. Question for everyone, does NVIDIA work for you? This is on an NVIDIA card. So it definitely does work for me. I'm using InSync for Google Drive. InSync is also a great solution. I mean, it's Electron based, so it's usable without resorting to the command line. But if you're comfortable at all with the command line, I'd definitely go for rclone, even above the native clients. I mean, if you need offline caching, that's a different story, but if you have a reliable internet connection, I'd use rclone. So, command layout. Basically what we're going to do is if arg UI I love oh god. I love how instant is simple and powerful at the same time. Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, yeah, providing an experience that is usually walled behind hours of config and basically impossible to get for people who are not tech people. NVIDIA does work for me, but I'm getting screen tearing without vsync true in PyCon. Just the code says, I think, split and clean instant wm.c. That's a good idea, I think. I could put more of the things in headers and stuff like that. Layout number equals arg UI. Else, let's do layout number, the default 1. Fix warnings as well. I'll put that on the to-do. Fuck. Oh. I mean, every project is going to have tons of warnings, but I never look at them. So I could at least do that. There we go. Set layout. And then we need to get an example of a good arg thingy. .v. All right. Arg. Whoops. That's not good. Larg. Layout argument. And then let's just copy one of those. And do this. Wait. Yeah. Then do this. What's the problem here? Oh, I need to make this a pointer. There we go. Luke and Layarg. What's Layarg? Layarg? So now what we have is this, which accepts a number. We could check if the number is within, yeah, let's do that. If argui or argui length. What's the definition of length? Okay, I think that should be fine. Layouts. And let's do layout number. So now what we can do is go to the header, Star Wars and layout argument joke. I'm not that big on Star Wars, or yeah, not on the. I am actually a member of prequel memes, but I didn't pick up on that. I need to relearn English. It's been a while since I've made a stream. All right. And then do command layout, also type 1, and default is 1. Do we have any windows open that we can close before restarting the window manager? Let's close down OBS, not OBS. Not that big on Star Wars, not a gamer. I'm afraid I need your nerd card now, sir. The last game that I'm really enjoying Among Us. Like, I didn't do Fortnite or anything, but Among Us is great. I think Instant OS is using Dunst for notifications. Would it be possible to add to Instant settings the ability to set colors per app notifications? For example, Slack to be red. Not sure if that is possible using Dunst, to be honest. I haven't looked into Dunst a lot and the documentation is not that good. But if you know how to do it, then I could write a wrapper that generates the config for you. And that's a good idea. I'm not a gamer too. The last game I played was Brick Breaker. I shudder to recommend Factorio to you because we would never hear you again. I already played Mindustry, which is basically open source Factorio mixed with Bloons. That's also very good. Like Factorio is probably a step above that in terms of that you can build computers with it. But yeah. Alright, so let's test out our new layout thingy. Get back chat. And layout 2, 3. Oh my god. 5. What's 0? 0 is this. 1 is also this. What's tile? Alright. Wait, let's just check it. Tile is 0. Why is 0 not working? Oh, because we set the default. All right. Then let's go to Steam shows that I played 901 hours of Victoria. Jesus Christ. I mean, there's probably a bunch of people who have more. Like, I've seen some of the Rocket League streamers have like 3,500. I think for me it might actually be Blender that I spent the most time in. I mean, on Steam. I used to use the Steam version of Blender. Let's just check. Blender. Yeah, but I mean, there's rendering in there, but mine's 800 hours of Blender. But I mean, a lot of that is rendering time. And in case you don't know, 3D graphics takes up to, I don't know, a few minutes a frame, or if you make a movie, like up to 24 hours a frame to just let the computer sit there and compute lighting. So that probably played into it. But Blender is by far my biggest item on Steam. All right, let's go back to command layout, I think. It is command layout. So if we go down here and change this to 0, then it should work fine. Let's check that. Get back our chat. Let's also name it chat. And layout 0. Still doesn't do it. 0 and 1 are, for some reason, what is happening? Oh, wait. Let's change this to 0. Maybe that's the problem. By the way, did the naming work? It did work. Great. So now, let's check again. Perfect. So now we can set a layout by the index. What happened here? Can I close that? Do I have 2 instances of NeoVim? All right, we have this, which looks great. We have this and this. Layout switch. The application switcher looks way better. You mean this one? This is Alt-Tab. It's a simple Alt-Tab menu, which is actually a cross-window manager. You can use it anywhere. The problem was that if you don't use it, then InstantWM has its own menu, which is just text-based. And with the new utility, I can disable the native key binding to use this one instead if I have the power to do it, because it takes more resources than the default one. NVIDIA is working fine for me, but it's constantly at 0%. You mean 0% usage? I mean, that's pretty normal, since InstantOS doesn't really use any GPU to run. I mean, GPU and CPU are hovering about 0 and 1% for me. So it's pretty normal to be at 0%. I like the text base better. I mean, it's faster, so it's default. Can you name the layouts for convenience so that the CLI understands both the index and the name. That's a good idea. At the moment, the CLI is really, really simple, but I can do that. I mean, in fact, let's just do it now. So let's go to, oh, we already are in case 1. In layout case, then do layout equals 0 as a default. Case 2, whoops, 2 in tile, let's do layout equal 0. Then we can remove that up here. Float is, wait a sec, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe we should just go from top to bottom. So let's do grid next. Layout equals 1. Then, oh no, floating is actually 3. Not sure what I was on about there. Layout equals 2. Then next is monocle. Next is TCL. I don't know, don't mean this in the wrong way. What does InstantOS offer other than a great window manager? I mean, we could go through the GitHub if you want to, but you can also just look at it yourself. So it has the window manager, but it also has this settings menu that is basically the only thing out there like it, because it doesn't use a settings daemon or any settings daemon from an existing desktop environment, but it's made for the window manager and it can be used just like the GNOME control center, for example. So it works out of the box and you don't need to touch any config files to use it like a normal computer, like you would Ubuntu or something like that. It also has a lot of custom tools like Instant Assist accompanying the window manager. It has iMenu, like a custom menu system that is used for a lot of the menus. Basically, yeah, it has a replacement for everything a desktop environment would offer, but still is using a window manager and has the resource usage that a minimal setup with months of configuration would get you. It also has like, yeah, the menu, a bunch of dev tools. Ooh, this one is in the making. That's private still. It has a custom SD fork, custom Pacman UI, welcome app, custom lock screen, theming engine. Like that one's really simple, but it automatically themes stuff. And it, yeah, of course, it has this custom installer. Like it doesn't use Calamares or anything, but it sticks to an installer that follows, for the base system at least, the official Arch install guide pretty closely. So you can have compatibility with the Arch wiki and anything like that. Why not call it InstantDE already? Because it technically isn't a desktop environment. And it's also, I think you can compare it to Elementary. Elementary is technically a desktop environment, but it's just this collection of software with a controlled environment that pretty much guarantees it to work. You can also install Pantheon on Arch, but it's not the same as Elementary on the intended distro. I mean, that went off rails pretty quickly. Are you looking for some good first issues? I was looking to contribute in somewhere. Yes, I mean, good issues are always welcome. Installer is good. Thank you. Yes, me too, but I can't install it via Yay. The AUR package tries to compile it, but it has the same PGP issue. NVTop. Oh, I didn't know about that one. What's NVTop? Whoops. This is interesting. I mean, for me, usage is also pretty much at... Oh, wait. Is that fan speed or what is it? Good first issues. Issues are also... I have to take a look at more of them, but at the moment I'm still busy with what I'm working on. Okay, let's continue on with this. TCL, layout 4, then deck. I mean, let's just paste this up. Wait a sec, what happened? Let's just paste this and then go through it. Deck, overview, layout, bstack, horiz, and that should be it. So now we can do 5, 6, 7, 8. What's the issue here? Oh, unused. All right, and then do this. Layout. So I think this goes in here. Yes. And afterwards exit. Layout. But let's also check if that's a number. Whoops. I mean, I could do it with grep, but that would add a bunch of latency to it. Maybe there's a better way. Bash if string is number. Can I do that without grep? Doesn't really look. Is there anything? What's that? Does Bash have a built-in regex engine? Oh, of course, I can just use equal. I'm a little dumb. All right. If equals 2, then fi. What's the issue here? Oh. Then do layout equals 2, argument 2. Else, just do this. This looks good. Bash has built-in regexes. They're lighting fast. Have you heard of RG? I mean, yes, it's fast, definitely, but it still is another executable that needs to spawn a process and that needs to be read from disk. And doing it within Bash, I mean, you could possibly do this, make a key binding for this, and so it has to be fast. But I mean, the equal hack works pretty well, I think. All right, so now it does this. And we can commit that. Oh, let's test it out first. Wait a sec. User local bin? Oh, all right. Illegal number. I mean, I know that. Layout, float. Is it called float? Yes. It works. Great. I mean, now we just need to silence the error message. Layout TCL. Layout monocle. Tile. Works. And dash not. Oh my god. I mean, then maybe not. Forgot we're in dash. All right, that looks good. The next thing I wanted to do is the ability to set the layout for all tags and all monitors, like a default layout. So let's do that now. I don't know why I quit Vim there. So go to xkf2, toggle prefix, just tag prefix. Okay, good. So what we can do is command all layout, command default. Command layout all. Tag prefix equals 1. And then command layout arg. I mean, there's probably a better way to do this. No, that's not the way we're gonna do it. If let's do command prefix tag prefix equals arg UI const arg doesn't work from there either. That's the first I tried. I get the broken PGP key issue. You mean when trying to install the NV-top from the AUR? It's probably an AUR maintainer issue, but I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with PGP either. Maybe use an associative dash array for the map. Makes logic shorter. I've never heard of that. Whoops, what happened? Associative dash array. I put that on the list of stream suggested stuff. From either community or AUR. That's odd. When have you updated for the last time? I mean, from community should definitely work, but you need to update your sources probably. I still want to join this stream. All right. I hop into Discord and you guys can come on if you want. But yeah. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Hello? And it crashed. I don't know why it does that. Let's try again. There we go, I think. Oh yeah. Hi. Oh. Can you install like anything using Pacman? Huh. Oh, Uganda Knuckles is here. Also irregular. So now we have command prefix and command layout, and we can combine that to set the layout for all tags and monitors. I think. Wait a sec. Compute prefix. No. Let's just do it like that. Get the chat back, and then instant wm control prefix, and then set the layout, and doesn't work. Great. Toggle prefix, tag prefix. Why, if monitor 1 isn't focused, the status bar on monitor 2 doesn't show anything? I mean, that's probably that's the indicator on which monitor you're on currently. I plan on making that configurable so you can have the clock on both monitors. At the moment, you can switch between them using super comma to look at the clock in case you're having a full screen app on one screen. But yeah, it might be a bit problematic because of the sys tray, but let's just yeah, it'll come, but it'll probably be a while until that happens. By the way, how's the stream doing? Ooh, we're doing quite good actually for how long I didn't stream. If I'm playing CSGO on one screen, I can't see the clock. Yeah, for gaming it's probably a good idea to have that on both monitors. All right. Command prefix. Why is this not working? Command prefix .ui equals 0. Oh, .ui equals 1. We haven't given it an argument. Prefix 1 and then now it works. Perfect. So now you can script a default layout. Let's just quit out of this again. Whoops. Let's do this and then tiling, and now it is tiling on each monitor and each tag. So let's now commit this. And then I think we'll introduce a config file for InstantWM for setting the default layout at the moment, not key bindings. Don't get your hopes up yet. But I think for that, you can just do a config file that gets executed every time the window manager starts or restarts, and then sets the layout, so that way you can have a default layout. What's happening here? Let's read this. So now, I don't know, should we make a wm auto start.sh? Gets executed every time the window manager restarts. All right. And then if iconv layout, default layout, then instant wm ctrl. There we go, the Patreon thing isn't working again. About multi-monitor setup, only one, I think the principal one, has a normal status bar. I don't mean tray icons, I mean the things like hovering on a tag doesn't display the correct color. That shouldn't happen. I mean, I have two monitors, maybe I can switch really quick. And as you can see, like, both of them have the tag bar, and it's working fine. The status is following the monitor that I'm currently on, but doesn't display the correct color. I'm not sure what you mean, to be honest. Like, it's probably a bug, or yeah, not sure. For me it works. Layout instant iconv default layout instant prefix 1. Let's just add a sleep in there. Really quick one. And also, more important, if I drag a window to the top bar, it gets maximized only on the principal monitor. That's really odd. How old is your install? Like, I can show this again. Like, if I drag a window up here, gets properly maximized, or in this case, it gets tiled, but works fine. And if I drag it to the other monitor, also works fine. Like, that's probably a bug you're running into. Do you have is there anything special about your monitor setup? Like, do they have different sizes, different orientations, different positions? All right, so if we put that here, we have to put that above here because it says already running here. So let's just do that. And do user share instant utils wm auto start. I think it's called, what's it called? wm auto start, yes. .sh apply wm settings. All right. Now we just need to update the pkg build too. Hey there, Benny. Appreciate all your work on InstantOS, bringing the awesomeness of window manager workflows to such a wider audience. Thank you. I mean, glad you like it and that it's working as intended, or at least like arriving at those audiences. And now we can also add this to the settings. By the way, Jesus Christ, Discord crashed. I was wondering, I totally forgot about him. Hello? Discord crashed. Ah, jeez, I'm getting a call really quick. Wait a sec, can I turn down? Sorry. Let's look at our audience retention. We dropped 4 viewers. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, the window manager auto start script. Ah, Jesus. Confused, you heard that all, right? Yes? Yes? I think there might be a bit of latency, but... Can you hear me? I actually had a ton of problems. But it doesn't look like it's on my side. Like I played Among Us the other day with some people and it worked fine. I had a ton of problems with Discord on InstaNoise. I wonder if that's a problem with my PC or anything that affects my users. I think it's with Discord on Linux in general. It's been really crappy for a long time. Oh yeah, that might be right. That's just my OBS though. There you go. Now you should be able to hear yourself on stream. But one of us has a huge amount of delay. All right, let's put that into the archive, also that. And now we also need to add up to, with GNOME it works just fine. I used to use GNOME and I had the same problems. I don't think the window manager affects like Discord or the audio at all. I mean, it's using Electron, so what should be different? But not sure. What kind of problems are you having using Discord? Take a look at our... Oh yes. Now I'm just afraid that I'm constantly in the wrong layout in OBS. Let's go to settings. And I don't know, let's just add it here. Default layout. What should the icon for this be? On InstaNoise, I had to use the LTS kernel for Discord to register my microphone, and after a couple of hours of using it, it would start to lag the entire OS. That sounds really odd. I mean, I'm using LTS kernel the entire time, and at least CPU usage-wise, you could try the testing version of Discord. Could also be your hardware. It has some issues with Ryzen boards as well, which is what I have. So now let's go down here and do what configuration language would you choose for InstantWM? Probably not a new one, because who needs that? And maybe I'm just going to expand the CLI tool to a point where you can just set key bindings from that tool so that you can just use bash or whatever wrapper you might want.
That may actually be the easiest way.
Because that way I also don't have to write a syntax parser in C, which could be prone to errors.
There is an ini parser, I think libconfig it's called. That's what most people use that can parse ini files.
Yeah, but also, I mean, that way runtime configuration gets a lot easier if we just do it with the command line tool in the first place.
I'm totally on board with that.
By the way, can you guys on stream hear him, or am I talking to a ghost for you? Kind of like BSPWM does. I think I heard of it, but probably I've never used it, but I heard that it's runtime configured using a command line tool. He's very quiet. There might also just be, I don't know, let's turn him up in table control. Layout, and let's edit Workspace instant WM.
Try louder now.
And just use all of these. And let's do it really fancy with a macro. All right. That didn't work. Oh. Ooh, that's satisfying. Oh no, I deleted my macro. All right, let's do a new macro. Boom, 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 boom. This didn't work. Okay, let's maybe not do the macros. Hey, you said that you wanted the volume control code. Why would I send that to you? You could just copy paste it in Discord. I mean, I presume it's not that long. And even if it is, Discord can fit surprisingly long messages. Or just, I don't know, send me a paste bin link. Doesn't really matter. I can't launch htop from the text-based app launcher. Anyone else has this problem? I mean, htop is a command line tool. So if you're going to open it up from the text-based launcher, it doesn't do anything because it doesn't open a window. You know what I mean? What you can do is open it up and then use shift and left and right to switch between different modes. So yeah, you can do shift right to go to terminal and then open htop and it opens inside of a terminal. But opening htop without a terminal emulator, it doesn't do it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's documented yet, but you can do this to, I don't know, do anything from a terminal emulator. Default layout. The graphical launcher probably has a desktop file that says this is a command line app, please open it in a terminal emulator. But the CLI launcher, no, not the CLI, the text-based launcher doesn't have that. The text-based launcher just spawns the processor directly. To keep us hooked with those hidden features. I mean, yeah, I definitely need to document them better. Failed to... What happened? Would you mind sharing your new Vim files? Been trying to make COC work properly for me. They're public. In fact, you can install it from Instant OS by going to Instant OS in the settings and then going to NeoVim pre-config. That installs my config. They're also available under paperbenny/init.vim on GitHub. But if it isn't working correctly, it's probably because you're missing Node or something like that, because it's using Node.js. But what's happening here? Oh, right. There we go. What are you making or doing? I'm at the moment implementing the UI for setting a default layout for the window manager. What kind of icon should we do? Grid. Let's just do this for all of them. And then if -n choice, then iconf default layout choice. Perfect. I'm trying to set it up on my own end, but I do like your layout. My layout? You mean my config? Or not true. What's happening there? Oh, there's the code. A mixer set pulse toggle. This is interesting. Wait a sec. So right now, he just deleted it. Jesus Christ. All right. In case you're not aware, there's an issue that some people are having that the mute function only mutes but doesn't unmute anything, which I can't reproduce on any of my devices, but he apparently has a fix for it on his end that I might try implementing officially. And there you go. He just reformatted it. So what he did was essentially a mixer d pulse set master toggle. What he did was the +1. What's the +1 do? The 1+, I mean. Because what toggle does is just this and substitutes the 1 by toggle. And what he did there is the 1+. Pull request. Shorten layout logic for WMC Ah, thank you. This looks a bit odd, the formatting, but are you still there, by the way?
I am still here, yes. I just oh, okay.
Latency also seems to have gotten better. Tire grid, float, monocle deck. I mean, looks good.
Yeah, I will fix the formatting because stuff. But now you know how SC whatever hash maps work.
I didn't know Bash had them.
Yeah, Bash has a lot of features. I think that the hash maps were added in version 4.0, something like that.
The book I read on Bash is probably older than that. So
yeah, I mean it has regex since version 4, and I think the arrays were also added then, 4 or 5.
close down Steam. What's happening here? There we go. Oh, of course, we need to make sure it's actually a layout. If grab-q choice, then layout choice equals to all of that. And make it like this. So now we can remove the icon from the entire thing. How's the stream doing? All right, doing good, doing well. And if we have that, let's also implement the back functionality. If grab q back choice, then return, and before that do instant OS settings. So it's a bit recursive. Check if layout is valid. Let's test it out. Layout, and let's do overview layout, which is a terrible choice for a default layout, by the way. That was not enough. Let's try again. Let's go with bstack this time. Bstack, perfect. Hi, can you do a video of all the different tiling layout options? The icon is not very easy to understand in terms of the mode it represents. I can do that, yes. I have a video series in the makings / planned that explains all sorts of different features. And you can go to instanoise.io documentation, and I think layout already has an explanation of all of them. Like, I mean, this is not very good, but it gets the job done. So definitely check that out if you're new to layouts. But I will also make a video because just the visual thing to have that is pretty good when you're working with GUI. I've recently been playing with InstaNoise on touchscreen, and is there a way to change the page in the app menu super wide? Also, some sort of virtual keyboard would be welcome. At the moment there isn't because it's using Rofi, and I don't think Rofi has that feature. I plan on doing an issue on the Rofi GitHub on this because I think it's things multiple people would benefit from. But there's also an alternative to it, which you can, call Panther Launcher, which looks like this, basically identical, but the difference is it has page indicators, so you can scroll through it to launch applications. So if you're on a touch screen, then definitely be sure to go to default applications, application launcher, and Panther is not there. Okay, I'll add that. Add Panther to settings. But I think I'm running out of time. I don't have a lot of time to stream today. So I'm gonna move that out there. And this was also way too much. I don't have a lot of time today. Sorry. Yeah. I see the logic seems to be better. The formatting, not the logic. All right, let's merge that. Or actually, let's add Panther to the default settings thingy before I'm gonna actually close the stream for today. Today is a little bit shorter. Or actually, it doesn't seem to be. Looking at the YouTube thing. The documentation is still good for a starter. Yeah. Tassif Mullah, he also was with us last time, I think. Was a bit heavy on copy-paste. Data, default, app menu, Panther Launcher Git, or just Panther? I think Panther Launcher Git is it. So Panther. Now I just need to know how to spell Panther Launcher Git. Now we added it to the settings as an option. And let's check it out if it works. I tried. I guess there's no plans for some kind of gesture support on X. This isn't an X issue. Like multi-touch gestures is another story, but single-touch gestures is very doable. There's already a gesture to open an on-screen keyboard, which is dragging in from the right, which opens up onboard. So there actually is a gesture GUI plan for InstaNoise. It's not that hard to do because there's already a gesture system in place in the window manager that's not actually getting used by a lot of things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But I'm planning on someday getting a touchscreen device with Linux compatibility. And yeah, we might also be the first tiling distro for mobile. How quick do these fixes filter through? When you commit, do we get an update notification within a few seconds? If I commit to GitHub, it doesn't go to the Pacman repo straight away, because sometimes I commit experimental things that are not meant to be used by the end user yet. So I manually update the Pacman repos. I have, I'm not gonna do it right now, but I build, and then it's build, and then I can choose the package name, and then it gets updated in the Pacman repo. So now if we go to default applications, application launcher, we should have, nope, doesn't work. Is there a way I can disable my laptop touchscreen? Probably, but I don't know how. The ArchWiki is your friend, and not sure if this is gonna become a GUI option at any time soon. Yes, data is there. Whoops. Did I add it to the wrong list? No, I didn't. Why is Panther not there? Panther is there. Oh, okay. It's hard-coded still. I probably just do this. There we go. And now, if we go to Application Launcher, we have Panther at the bottom here. And now Panther should be our default, or not. Oh, it's Panther _ launcher. Got it. There we go. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it quits now because I've been streaming past my schedule already. So yeah, it's been fun. We've been making some progress, and I'll catch you guys next time. So yeah, it was a short stream. What tool are you using for building InstantOS ISOs? ArchISO. I have a tendency of answering questions last minute. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here.